Welcome to the Invincible Innovation Show, the podcast for changemakers. Each week, I talk to the most fascinating entrepreneurs and innovation leaders about innovation, strategy, and design. Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about the power of personal branding. Welcome to Invincible Innovation Live Show. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm Mazor, Kario, product innovation and value creation expert, and I'll be your host. And I have a very special guest with me, Jay Jaye. Hi,
Good,
Jay Jaye.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. How are you? I don't have the
And
plant. I don't have the plant like you, but I've got the over costly expensive painting to make myself feel good. So we
oh,
can.
that's good.
That's all that
So we're
matters.
so we both placing ourselves in a good environment. For me, is the plants, and for you is the painting. So we're in
Yeah,
a
the
good start.
painting. I got the view. I got the view of Miami. So I don't know.
Wow,
Yeah,
sun in
yeah.
Miami.
Why can't I get my laptop right now? Anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah. Okay, just a minute. I see we have a problem connecting. No, now it's working. Okay, so JJ is the founder at Ace of Spades Agency. Ace of
Mhm.
Spades is a digital PR agency that helps people and companies package, position, and publicize what they do all over the world. Right?
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Right. And we're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and you're so invited to join the discussion and ask questions. So let's start with a big one. We're talking about personal branding. How would you define personal branding?
Simply put, how to sell you. That's it.
And do you think that everybody needs to do it? Like if they're self-employed, if they have a business, it's if you're young, if you're old, if you're leadership, whatever.
I don't think everybody has to do it at all. Just like not everybody has to start their own business. But I always feel like if it only is going to help you scale, it's only going to make deals come in quicker. It's only going to make people trust you faster. It's only going to make opportunities easier for you when more people know you, when more people like you, when more people listen to you and learn from you. And eventually, that capital T trust you. So whether you're trying to raise money, whether you're trying to get people to invest in your company, whether you're trying to get on a podcast, whether you're trying to go on a date, it always comes down to trust. And when you get more people to know you as a human, everything becomes easier.
Yeah.
Everything becomes simple because, oh, I know that guy. Oh, hey, I know that girl. Yeah, I know her. It shortens the gap to raising money, to getting business, to getting deals.
Yeah.
So
Because
I,
I think that most people, when they're thinking about personal branding, they see like a show off. Like I'm a salesperson for myself in that case,
mhm.
and it's not trustworthy. It's like a facade. You understand what I'm saying? Like this is, I
Mhm.
think that most people, this is what they're saying. Like you need to know how to talk about yourself and to sell yourself. And
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people haven't been a lot of people have this ideal that you have to be this personality or you have to be this person. But now, because of the internet and because of this, we've given accessibility that you can be yourself. And other people who have labeled themselves as an introvert or shy or I'm not that person, they are doing amazing things by them showing up on video. So
right.
I think that whole argument of, well, I don't want, you're so full of yourself or this, I don't hear that anymore because I think people realize, oh, there are other people who look like me, sound like me, that are doing it, and they seem nice. So then it comes down to one problem. You know what that
Mm.
problem is? Fear.
Different,
It's
what?
always fear. Fear.
Fear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always fear. It's always been fear. It's not people don't want to put themselves out there. They're scared.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell people when I work with them, why don't you do more content? Oh, I don't, you know, I don't have anything good to say, or no, there's enough content. No, you're scared. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah,
you're
I
scared,
totally agree because most people think I need to do something which is so unique, so different. Nobody has thought about it ever before. And yeah, everything you ever thought about, most people have thought about it before. It doesn't mean that they present it as well as you, that they understand it as well as you,
right?
and it's fine.
Yeah. Well, and this is why personal branding is great because no one can be you. So you could have 10 people running a marketing company, 10 different people doing their different message. When people grow their personal brand, people will just gravitate towards them because they connect with them, or they look like them, or sound like them, or they like them more than this person. So you're
Yeah.
right. Creativity. People who use the like, I need to be really unique. Once again, you're scared, aren't you? I
Yeah.
always just tell the
Yeah.
obvious.
That's
Because
an
if
excuse as you see it.
yeah, it's an excuse, and it's okay. I'm very understanding of people. I understand you're scared. You're scared about what people are going to think. I get it. I really do. I worked in entertainment for my whole life. That's why I started this agency. I know what it feels like to have bad comments. I know what it feels like to be rejected. I know what it feels like to be shot down with negativity and anger, and people just say the worst things. However, if you can understand it's really not a reflection of you half the time, it doesn't bother you anymore.
Yeah. And what do you think they're afraid of? Give me an example of a client that you told them you should do more content or whatever, and they said, "Oh, it's not me. I'm not sure about it."
Yeah,
Give
yeah.
me
I
an
think
example.
yeah, so I work with a lot of men, right? Hence, because I'm a guy, and I work with a lot of men that have built millions of dollars in their business in one space. Let's say a plastic surgeon or a lawyer or a wealth management firm. He's built this kind of structure of who he is and how he's done things, but he's hitting this wall, right? He's either doing the same things, or the revenue's not growing, or something's not working. So he'll meet me and he'll like, hey, I think I need to put myself out there more, right? How do I do that? And I said, well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create some content, because it's easy, it's simple, there's no rules, and it's the fastest way to connect with people. And the biggest thing that they struggle with is having to be open on being vulnerable, being okay to share stories that maybe they've never shared before. And it's hard for a man. Women, it's easier because they're
You
willing
think?
to, yeah.
You think? I don't think so, but I'm interested to hear what you think.
Women are easier. Like when it comes to men and women to get help, who gets help first? Women.
Yeah, get help, yeah, but being
Get help,
public and showing yourself in videos, I don't know,
right?
I think
They're
more
willing to try.
self-conscious.
Men are very stubborn, right? I know we're very
Yeah,
stubborn.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not
they're
doing it.
stubborn.
I'm not doing it. It's just like they don't even, you know what? But if you can make them feel comfortable and show them they're not going to die, and show them that people want to hear from them, and you show other clients, look, this guy did it. This guy's bigger than you, more successful than you in your mind, makes more money than you. He can do it. Let's do it together. So a lot of them feel like if they share something, they're going to lose their reputation. For men, it's
Mm,
all about reputation in business. It's about
mm.
power, about reputation. It's about what people think of me. I don't want to look like this. I get it, man. So you have to advise them and educate them on, you're not trying to be this person. You're just trying to give me a little bit so you can connect with people. And I think with men, once they feel comfortable with you and realize they're not going to die, I always say then they start to fly. So
Yeah. So I just imagine like a plastic surgeon, which is the person that people first trust. They need to trust them, I guess, and they're considered very professional. And I guess they're saying, I'm not an entertainer. I don't need to be in front of a screen and to talk to people. I'm not in the Today Show, right? This is more or less what he's saying. And it's not good for my reputation to be selling, like because they need to come for me for my professional advice because I'm so good at what I'm doing,
mm,
right? And then you tell them, okay, let's do a few, videos that you explain things. How do you take them from being, I'm not doing that, to, okay, I'm willing to try being on camera?
yeah, well, firstly, I charge them a lot of money. Money usually
That's
moves
good.
people, you know? Okay, great. So we don't do anything and you're going to be in the same position. I think when it comes to personal branding, just to come back, I think it's about sharing with people. Look, it's a strategy. I'm not saying it's the only strategy. Getting clear on what does someone want. What I find with a lot of people now in 2023, they're hitting a wall with their marketing. They're hitting a wall of getting noise, attention. They say attention, Addy, is the new currency.
Yeah.
How many people are amazing that and you're like, how come, why don't more people know them? because no one knows them. That's the big
Right.
thing. Like
Yeah.
the biggest problem I had for so many years as a speaker and entertainer, I was really good, right? And I still think I'm really good, and I know I'm good. I was really charismatic. I knew how to dress. I knew how to talk to people. I knew how to go to events. But the problem is, only like 50 people knew me, right? Only like a small people knew me. So if people don't see you, how are they expected to work with you? So I think what happens when it comes to personal branding, a lot of people they're hitting a wall with their marketing. And I say, look, there's another way here. It's going to be
Hmm.
slower, but it's going to be more impactful. So to your question, you really have to show them how to do it without them having a block. You have to show them this is how you do it. And all it takes is one video. I get them to do one video. Just
One. Is it
one.
enough?
Well,
One is enough?
it's enough to get them out of their head, right?
Oh, but they
It's
need to do
enough.
more than
Yeah,
one.
it's enough for them to realize, oh, I've been led to believe that my mindset is telling me that I'm wrong. You need to take one video, you need to place it online, and you need to let the world tell them how amazing they are. I could tell them, but I'm the salesman, right? I'm the agent. I'm the guy that, of course, I'm going to say good things.
Yeah,
But
of
you need
course.
other people who they respect and admire and appreciate to say, oh my gosh, Mr. ABC, that was amazing. I didn't know that you used to be a baker and now you turned to a plastic surgeon. I used to work in the restaurant business. See, there's a connection now.
Yeah.
And the moment people come off their pedestal and they show they're a real human, everything changes.
Yeah. And don't you think there is like lots of people creating content and it's so hard to get the attention
Yeah.
because there are so many of them and
Yeah.
each one of them is creating content and
Yeah.
you're actually trying to catch a person attention and time and resources in order just to listen.
Yeah. For me, when I created a YouTube channel about 10 years ago, and it's got 57 million views, right? It took me 3 years to get trajectory. 2 videos a week, 3 years, right?
Wow.
So
Lots
what
of
is
work.
that? That's 150 videos later. It took me at a time when YouTube was the only video content platform back then.
Yeah.
So I think to your question, a lot of people struggle with staying consistent for a long enough time. People will, oh, it's not working. Do you know
Yeah,
how many
after two
people?
videos it's not
Yeah, after
working.
2 videos, after 2 podcasts, like get out of here, man. Like I have a rule when people will come to me, and I don't get it as much anymore because my content kind of masks. I don't want to. I don't. People don't going to come to me with bad excuses. But if someone comes to me and says, "Hey, I'm doing something, it's not working," and I don't see content enough for me to be set, like to be enough, I'm like, go back to keep doing content. You're not allowed to ask that question because you haven't put the runs on the board, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many
And
events did you go to? How many people did you speak to? How many sales calls did you do? Like, it takes years, and
yeah.
everybody wants it like this.
Yeah, they want, of course. If it could be done.
Yeah, and some people do crack it, but most people who crack it, ask them, how long did it take you to crack it? What have you done in the past? We see what we see. Oh, he did 4 videos, he made it. No, he's done 4,000 videos for 10 years. You just only are seeing it like this. Of
Yeah.
course, you don't see everything else.
Yeah. In general, I think that we perceive success as something that is like only the end story is what we see.
Yeah.
And we don't see the hard work that was before the story that we know. And we think like, yeah, it was easy for this person, or he was so talented, or whatever. And we don't praise the hard work because we want the success. We want the story of, yeah, he did 4 videos or he did some kind of content and it was enough.
Yeah, people don't want it. People don't want the truth. They don't
Yeah,
want
they
the
don't
truth.
want to work hard because it's
They
too
don't,
hard.
yeah, because yeah, exactly. You don't want to know what's up because when you know what's up, guess what? The mirror, as I call it, turns back to you.
Yeah. And
The, the, the,
you're the responsible person.
you have to take responsibility. It's easier to say she's pretty. It's easier to say he's good looking. He was given it. She married into money. oh, she's got a sugar daddy. Like all the things that you tell the world, what you're really telling me is I'm not willing to take responsibility for where I'm at. And you know what? Maybe she did. Maybe, why does that matter to you? What are you going to do about it? Like it's a really simple way to like logic way. Okay, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Most of the time, it's not true because you're making it up in your mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, what do you want to do about it? Oh, he got 18 million in a raise. Okay. Oh, his uncle. Okay, who cares? What can you do? Like, stop. No one cares. No, you know what they always say? No one cares about what you could have done.
Yeah. What you
Like,
think
no
you
one
should
cares.
have done
No one
or
cares.
whatever.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, and then you end up attracting other complainers.
Yeah.
You ever, you ever,
Complainers is
you ever sit
something.
sometimes with people and like, man, this person just hangs out with other complainers. I'm like, I gotta go. I can't like this is not gonna work here. And I see it
Yeah.
all the time. I see it all the time. I see people I speak to a year later, they're still in the same boat, saying the same things, complaining about the
And
same problems. And I said, I
yeah.
gave you a plan. I said I would have helped you for free. I'm really easy to get along with. I'm really easy to help people. Just if I give you something and you do it and come back for more, I'm like, okay, do it again. Like I'm not gonna. And if you want me to work with you, then we work on it. But I'll give. Probably the same thing for you, Addy.
Mhm.
If someone asks you for advice, right, and you tell
Okay.
them something, and they do it really well, and they come back to you, you're like, okay, do it again.
Yeah.
You're probably gonna
Yeah.
feel great because we
Yeah,
we
of
like
course.
it. And then eventually you may charge them, but like it's so easy if you just do it. But
Yeah. Most
okay,
people, I think, I would just guess that, and you'll tell me if it's true, that most people will tell you, "Can I hire someone to do it? Do I need to do it? Why is it important that I'm seen? Can I hire someone to present me, someone to do the videos, someone to do the sales?"
sure,
What would
sure.
you tell them?
Well, yeah, I think there's two ways to answer that question. I think if the frame is, if the context is, I need support and help, I totally get it. Just like you, Addy, just like me, we work with a lot of people that have no time. I get it. That's the kind of people I attract. So yeah, you pay other people to do your work, just like you pay a maid, you pay a chef, you pay a trainer. But there's a difference between paying someone to help you and then paying someone to do all the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people in this space that I work with, a lot of people think that you're going to basically carry them on their back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to do the hard work. That's
Well, I'm going to do their business. I'm like, so I'll tell people like, hey, this relationship here, I'm your support. I will take a lot of the weight from you, but you need to be the one to lift the weight.
yeah.
A lot of
So
people,
you
yeah,
you're actually telling them this is what you need to do because I believe that this is the right thing for your business to
yeah,
be a brand as a person, not only as a clinic for
yeah.
in that case.
Yeah, well, look, we work with this wealth advisory firm. We work with a lot of startups, and I like startups because I like the creativity. I like that people have a really core passion. They've got the childlike, oh, I really want to do this. That I'm very fascinated by new ideas, and I feel a big problem they have is obviously raising money, right?
Sure.
So they've got the idea, they've got the team, they need to raise money, and I give them a plan, I give them the strategy, I give them some things, but at the end of the day they have to still go out to the event, they still have to go out and meet the guy or the girl to give them the money, they still have to pitch, they still have to close, they still have to follow up. And a lot of them think that people are just going to give them money because their idea is good,
Yeah.
like, or they're, oh well, we've got a great deck. I'm like, no one cares. Like, I'll help you, but you got to still be the one to go close it, because if people are just going to give you money and it was that easy, wouldn't we all be doing it?
Hopefully, if we could do that. But what you're saying that you're helping them with presenting the deck, the pitching itself.
Yeah, I will, I
What do
will,
you
I will.
mean?
Yeah, I will consult the company or the startup group as much as I can. I'll give them press to give them credibility. So when someone Googles them, oh, they're featured in Forbes, they're featured in Huffington Post. They're okay,
Mm.
great. So they're credible. They're not going to scam me. They're not just a bunch of young boys or young girls or young teen that don't know what they're talking about. Second thing is I'm going to at least clean up their digital presence. If I have $18 million to give to someone and I Google them and I see them on Facebook or Instagram partying, you think that's going to make, nah, nah.
Yeah.
It's because I'm going to give them 4 mil for first seed. And then are they going to party with my money? Are they going to go on a boat in Miami? The messaging is really important. Like people will make a judgment like that. When I
Yeah.
walk into a store here in Miami and I dress like this most days, do you think people are less likely to talk to me or they're more likely to talk to me? More likely because I represent myself. This is how I am. I'm not saying you have
Yeah.
to wear a suit, but people make judgments, Addie, like that. And
Yeah.
when you're trying to get the biggest problem like solved, which is raising money, and they see one thing online, you could lose them just like that. I know.
Yeah, it's so hard just to think about it because when you're 15 or 16 or even 20, you're not thinking about these things that when I'll be 25 or 30, I would want to whatever, to open a
Yeah,
business, to get a startup done, whatever.
yeah,
And then you say, okay, is it relevant or not? My young life as a student is the same as, like, do I need to hide these in order
yeah.
to be more?
Yeah,
Uh,
it's yeah, and it's not about, and I wouldn't say it's about, because people say, well, I want to share my life. I'm like, yeah, I know you do, but people don't have the time to decide whether it, like, what kind of person you are. You have one shot, one image, one perception. Like, do the right thing. So yeah, I would say, like, we give them the plan, we give them the steps, we show them the right moves, and then I just let them go. Because
yeah,
if Addie, if you and I, if we have to go create the deck, close the deal, get the money, I might as well just do my own. Do it. Why am I giving you this? I said that to people all the time. I'm like, man, what you want, I might as well become the lawyer because it
yeah,
seems like I'm doing 95% of it. I work, it's funny sometimes because sometimes people expect, they want someone to do all the work. They want a manager. Hey man,
sure.
you do everything and I'll just show up. I'm like, why don't I just do the business? Why don't I just hire someone as talent and then and then do it myself? It happens to me with podcasts. I have some people that ask me about helping them build their podcast. And I tell them and that they really just want to show up and be the star, which is fine. I love that.
Yeah,
But I'm like, listen, I might as well go hire the talent because
yeah,
I'll make more money and I'll have more fun because I
yeah.
control this. So
Yeah. I think that most people they are thinking about what they are used to doing. Let's say if you're a CEO and you come from software in startup, you think that most of the talent related to technology and to whatever is the main topic is the most important part, and maybe you need some talented people around you. But actually, if you want to really succeed, there are talents that you would not consider in your main expertise that are needed. And therefore, the product or the talented people around you is not enough at that case.
yeah. Well, and coming back to personal branding, when people get to know your personal brand, guess what happens? You attract great people. All
I
this,
think it's really hard when I think we're talking this hard, but I'm thinking about I'm working mainly with technology companies
right?
and startups in Israel, and it's a very specific I would say population working with technology and startups in Israel, and on one side they're very sure of themselves, sometimes too much,
Mm,
on the other side, it seems that they are not always understanding that they're selling all the time. You're not selling only when you're going to a VC or only when you're hiring someone in your company.
yeah,
You're actually selling yourself as part of the deal.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
hard, it's challenging for them.
Every investor, every high end fund manager that I meet, every conference I speak at, when people are giving money away, the number one thing they say is, I don't invest in the product, I invest in the person. Everyone. And
Yeah.
that makes me really understand how important it is for you to people to trust you and like you and get to know you. Because as
Yeah.
I do all the time, right? And I think people are smarter now. They want to know the CEO behind the startup. What does he stand for? What does she do on the weekends? Is she married? Is she out on a boat? Was partying? Like, people want to get to. They're not just going to like throw cash at something, right? Even if you give money to the fund managers are going to need to do more due diligence because it's their reputation on the line. So they're going to go, hang on a second, how much history does this guy have? What has this girl done?
Yeah.
So I agree with you 100%. It's the same in San Francisco. Same when I lived in San Francisco, everybody thinks they're like the hot shot. And
Yeah.
back
Some
in
of them are.
and some of them
Okay.
are. And back in the day, yeah, you could go get $250,000 check over dinner. I've heard stories, right? First-hand stories of like, yeah, I met some guy at lunch. We went for dinner. He wrote me a check, literally like, yo, here's the money, right? We'll do the contract in the morning. And those things
Yeah.
happen. However, it's a little bit different now.
Why do you think it's different?
It's a good question.
I'm not talking about the current situation with the recession, and let's take that as part of it. But in
Yeah.
general, why do you think people are more hesitant?
I think now I think there's a lot more options. I think people now know that they should do some due diligence because it is easier to, people can, after what happened with FTX, right? You heard about FTX?
Sure. Sam Beckman.
Like, that has completely blown the trust problem.
Yeah.
Now, regular people now have been educated and go, oh, even with celebrities, even with billboards, even with all this media attention,
Yeah. Lots
you
of media
still
attention.
can get scammed. I was one of them, right? I invested with FTX, right? And
Yeah.
FTX is huge here in Miami. They've got a 5 minutes walk. They've got a big stadium, FTX Arena,
Ooh, really? I didn't
right?
know that.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just here. I can walk there right now. FTX Arena,
Wow.
blasted. The celebrities, A grade, like B grade, C grade celebrities, all promoting FTX,
Yeah.
FTX, FTX, FTX. Then
Yeah.
obviously internal, things happen, and it's the lid's being blown off. Now people are going, okay, I have to really check this out before I just believe anything.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the same goes for Adam Newman with WeWork. I
Yeah.
think it's another like story
Yeah.
of a person that had and still somehow has, in some cases, a really good reputation that I don't really understand. But it seems like he got money again not long ago after the situation. But
As they always say, like, if you can do it once, you'll find a way to do it again, right?
yeah, but after doing, I don't know who's the person who gave him money. I guess that he believes that he's going to do it again somehow even better. But when I'm thinking about it, is we talk about trust. So on one side, you're saying, oh, okay, this person has done that. So he was very successful and he grew that huge business
Right.
because he's so talented. On the other side, it was a bit of a scam, and you're saying, okay, maybe I should try something new or another company that is might be I don't know them. Maybe they've never done something. So how can I trust someone who is he sounded really good at the beginning, I'm sure. So it's hard to trust people in general.
Yeah. And well, there's always a way to fake trust too. There's always a way to leverage. We don't know what we don't know. Like, because I come from the show business background, I'm always like, okay, that's the one story. What's the other story? What's the truth? Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he if he's done it once, he'll do it again. He'll know, if he knows how to raise money. There's enough people around this world that don't know the whole story. Maybe he changed his name. Maybe he's working with someone else, and that he said he was an investor. We don't know. So, like,
Yeah.
maybe it's not him directly going out and raising money, or maybe it is, but it's
Who
it's
knows? So tell me, what would you say? What would be an advice you would give a company that is who wants to grow right now? What would be the number one advice you would give them?
Yeah, tactic one is, first thing I would do is Google all of the people in charge and Google your company and see what comes up. Like, do your
Mm,
own reputation management. Literally open up a new incognito window. So, most people have Googled themselves before.
yeah,
You'll get a new chance to see who you are. Find out and literally have people next to you. Be hard on your co-workers and your founders. Let's Google each other. Oh, how old is that photo? We need to get rid of that. Right? Comes up on the first page. Or
yeah,
if someone's done something illegally or something's in the police report, you need to figure that out, because it will
yeah,
hinder your chances of it is harder for you to get moved forward if people can find things that easy. You don't think anyone else is going to Google you? Yeah. And then
they
so
probably
that would be
wouldn't.
step one, right? People pay me thousands of dollars, tens of thousands to do that task, right? And we
Yeah,
go for a report, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. We just Google people, we show them a video, we show them how to get rid of it, but people are shocked. They're like, I didn't even know this was on here.
yeah. Where did you find that?
I didn't even know I still had that photo from the nightclub 3 years ago. I'm like, don't
Yeah,
don't shoot the messenger, just look at Google. So that would be step one. I think step two as well, understand that people are buying into you. Like, yeah, your product is important, of course. It has to solve a problem, it has to be interesting. However, there's a lot of interesting ideas. Remember, people are buying from the guy, they're buying from the girl. So just remember that. Be present to that, right? Everyone's like deck, pitch, idea. Hang on, man. Do I connect with you? Firstly, and
yeah,
I think a lot of people, including me, we want to shove our product down people's throats. I get it. We're proud. We're excited. We got it.
yeah,
But sometimes, hang on a second. Maybe I'm not connecting them. Maybe we just don't connect. It's all good. Yeah. Just
yeah.
because they have money doesn't mean you need to jump through hoops. That's the other thing I tell a lot of sometimes women here in Miami too. Guys, it's sometimes we're generally more hunters, right? We've got that hunter mentality where males. Sometimes women, when they're raising money, they feel like they have to jump through these hoops. And I get it; they're pretty too, and guys sometimes maybe aren't as honest as they should be of reason why they're having a meeting with them. But I always tell them, like, also know your value, know your worth, right? Yes, do you have to sometimes do more things because yeah, of course, right? If they ask you to come for a meeting 3 hours drive and you feel good, you have to go. That's welcome to
Yeah.
going out and chasing. However, miss, ma'am, if listen to your gut. If it's not on, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think a lot.
Although it is really hard for founders,
It's
entrepreneurs,
completely hard.
women,
It's
it's
completely hard.
really hard.
It's really because you also don't want to piss off the person, and then you also don't want to be disrespectful. But I feel and I see way more people are dealing with, they're putting up with a lot of BS when they knew deep down they shouldn't have done this, right? Most
Yeah.
people that I speak to that have raised money or that have got something from an investor, it's very rarely I've heard like, oh, I had to do all these stupid things and I got the money. It doesn't work like that.
Hmm.
I feel like if you're constantly having to like this with an investor or this with a startup, if it's like that now, why would it be different when it gives you money?
Yeah.
That story, right? Like if you're having problems on a sales call with someone and it's already,
Yeah.
why do you think it's going to be easier when they give you money?
Yeah. Because someone, when he is giving you money, he wants some kind of control about your
Of
decisions. They're not
course.
just
So
taking money and then going to sleep. You need to
yeah, of
really have a
course.
good relationship with your
Yeah.
board, with your VCs.
Yeah,
So you need to
exactly.
do
And
it.
this is once again coming back to personal branding. When they get to know you, I'm really fortunate. I have great clients. I don't have anyone blowing up my phone at 11 o'clock at night. I've set the boundaries, but they knew who I was from the content that I put out. And this is a little bit more like bigger vision here, but I feel like I don't attract the crazies.
You
They
don't
can't,
attract the crazy. Why? Why do you think so?
because because I'm authentic with my content. I'm authentic who I am. I put the right message out. They can't stick. They
Mm.
can't stick. Right.
Yeah,
And
it
that's
will
fine.
not work.
And I get it. People listening, how do I justify that? How is that tangible? I get it. It's hard, but it's that kind of old school thing. It's like, listen, I'm really fortunate when I put the right message out, the right people will come. Right. I'm not saying it's not always easy, but I don't have to deal with. I don't have the weirdos. I don't have the crazy clients. I just don't allow it. I just we
Yeah, I
at the
totally understand what you're saying
beginning,
because
I did.
I'm laughing because I have a friend and we had a talk about it. And usually I love my clients. Most of my clients, I really, really enjoy
Right.
working with them. And sometimes when I see it's not working, it's like, and it could be in the sales call that you feel that it's not exactly, I would just say, I wouldn't say I fire them, but I would say it's not working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when you're doing something with joy and curiosity and
Right.
trust between you and them, so they know what's your word worth and you know what they need, and it's a win-win situation, it works well.
Yeah.
When one side is not seeing the same way, it's like it cannot work. It will
Yeah.
not work. And even if you're so talented and you have so much to give, and they're not into listening or really taking in what you tell them,
Be coachable.
yeah, if
Yeah.
they don't want to listen and they want to, they it's like two options. They could fight with you and disagree, or they just want you to say that they are right, which is two sides of not really
Yeah.
listening. So it's like I'm
Yeah.
not coming here just to be your, like, your stamp. Yeah, you're fine, everything's good, let's do whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
because there is no value with it. So
It won't last for me. Yeah, I'm fortunate now. I understand what you really mean. I talk with a lot of agencies, and like, they call it clients from hell, right?
plans for help.
Clients from
Okay.
hell. Yeah. But now because it's never fun. The money's never worth it. Energetically, it's not good for me. Like, I'm stressed. I'm frustrated. I'm like, why am I putting up with this? It just, yeah, it
Mhm.
doesn't. You got to cut it early. Like, you got to know before going into a deal. In my opinion, like, it's on. Energetically, they want to have you. You want to have them. They're cool, right? There's always going to be a little bit of back and forth at the beginning because they're trying to understand if you're the right fit for them, and it's more of a trust thing, right? But once it's on, it's great, right? Everyone knows what it feels like to have a great client. There's respect. They pay their bills, they listen to you, they do the work, you overly help them. It's a great flowing relationship. But when
Yeah.
it's clashing, like, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you give me what it would be a challenge or an obstacle for a brand, a personal brand? Like somebody is doing the work, he's doing what you told him, but there is something that is not working for them.
What's coming up for me right now is not seeing the bigger picture,
Hmm.
probably understanding how long it's going to take, right?
Mm.
I really think, including myself, it takes a ton of time, right? And I always come back to the concept of getting fit, having a six pack. You do a week of the gym and you're still fat. You still look at yourself and
Yeah.
your whole
You can have
okay,
3 years
go
in the
away,
gym
right?
and be
Yeah, go
fat.
away. So I think that the same problem, like, we it takes a long time. I always say the videos you make today will get you paid, but in a year. So it's hard because we're doing work now to be rewarded in a year. And I think
Yeah.
I always, like, even for me now, I do 2 videos a day on my Instagram, my reels. I don't overly worry anymore. For last week, I was like, why is it? And I'm like, don't worry until a year. Just keep putting the content out, and obviously the content has to be good and has to be interesting, but I'm not worried. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna forget about it. It's like an investment. You just forget about it. Oh, I put
Yeah.
money away, don't even touch it, don't even think about it. In a year, I'm like, oh wow, that's what
Yeah.
happened. So I
Yeah.
to your question, good question. That's probably the biggest problem. And other thing, people aren't doing it for the right reason.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Yeah, great. So when people come and want to get some information and figure out how if they can work with me or not, the biggest thing I ask them, especially if they lean into building in a personal brand, if they voice that to me, if they go, "Hey, AJ, I've seen your work. I'm looking for help," it's not really a clear guide, so I'll have to find out what they need. If they go, "I want to build my personal brand," I will say why, and they'll tell me,
And
and I'll say why again. No one gives you have you ever heard of the three whys?
yeah, I heard about it. So give me an example of someone.
Well, I would say, yeah. So I would say, okay, perfect. Addie, why do you want to do a podcast? Why do you do a podcast?
For me, that's what you're asking?
Yeah.
Really? Because I really love learning new things. I'm very curious about what people are going to say. That's
Okay,
the
cool.
real thing.
Right. So why do you love what people have to say? Why are you very curious?
I feel that when you connect, you grow. You grow as a person, you grow your understanding, you grow your experience in life. And I don't believe that people learn always by themselves. So for me, if I want to grow as a person, as a professional, as an advisor, I have to talk to people. And if I could share it with other people and some of them could learn from it, it's a bonus.
Right. And why is helping people learn important to you?
I guess that I feel it makes me feel a better person when I do it.
Right.
That's
And
what I
why is
really feel.
why is being a better person important to you?
Um, because I always want to be better. Because for me, being the same or being stale is like, no, this is what I need to do as a professional, as a person, as a human being. I need to grow. I need to learn. I need to be better. And it doesn't matter if it's only professional or it's as a person with my relationships. And I don't know how to grow without other people. So I
Perfect.
believe that that's a good way.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So what we found is your core now. I could have got two more out of you because you're good. You're a speaker. But what I went from is I do podcasts because I like sharing. To now I do podcasts because I want to learn. I want to push myself. I want to be different. Being stale is very unattractive to me. So now when you find the core root of someone's why, it's powerful to move them. That's what you need to
Mhm.
move them. No one wants to create content. No one wants to get on the press. That's the filler. Why do you want to do that? And once you have the core, then I can move them. So to your question, I always try and find out the reason why they want to do this. And most of the reason it's a couple of the same ones. They want to be appreciated. They want to give people the right information. They want to really help people leave a legacy with others. They want to coach people because when they were young they didn't have anyone coaching them. So once they find the true why, or at least somewhat of the truth, then we can really go explore magic.
And not a good not good enough reason would be I just want to make more money. Give me an example of that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, Eddie. Why do you want to grow your personal brand? Oh yeah, I just want to like bring in I just want more people to know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay.
I
Well, let's go. Well, why do you? Why? So why me? Well, you
yeah.
seem like you're everywhere. Yeah, but why would you want to grow a personal brand? I'm quick to push people off. Like
Yeah.
I'm really good at telling people you shouldn't do this because I
Yeah.
have to tell people the truth of the matter. Like, hey man, this is the invest. This is what you're going to be spending. Usually that scares off a lot of people because not just for me. I'm like, you're going to spend probably a couple of $100,000 to grow it, right? If you want to do it properly. Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, can we start smaller? We can, but I'm just sharing with you. Like, you don't think you're gonna have to get new clothes? You're not gonna have to like get a haircut every couple of weeks because you're on camera. You don't think you're gonna have to get speaker training? You don't think you're gonna probably have to get maybe a new iPhone 14, maybe lights? Like all these things are gonna add up. Hey, are you ready to not see return in about 6 months? Oh, yeah, because you got to do content, man. We got to put ourselves out there. Are you ready for someone to say negative comments for you, man? When you wake up and you're not feeling really great, maybe you're on your time of your month and you're very emotional at that time of the month, and a woman that you know says something bad about you. Are you ready for that? I need to give people the vision, because if they know at least what's going to happen before it's going to happen, the blow isn't going to hurt as much.
I see. Okay, we're almost like I have so many additional questions, but still, I have only the one last one.
Okay.
What would be like what somebody comes to you and he says, "Okay, you gave me great advice, but I want to know exactly why are you doing what you are doing?" What would you tell him?
Yeah, 100%. You can put the what is it called, the spotlight back on me. For
Yeah.
me, my passion is people, and I've lived in a lot of countries. Look at me. No one even
Yeah,
knows.
I don't need to look. I listen.
Yeah,
I know that you're not from Miami,
yeah,
right?
I'm not from. I'm Australian. Do I have some Arab in me? Do I have some Hebrew in me? Do I have some French in me? Who knows? So for
Yeah.
me, people are my passion, my purpose, and I've always loved speaking to someone and saying, "What do you want to do? Like, really, what do you want to do? Like, don't worry about me. Anything. What do you want to do? Great. Is that really the truth? Awesome. How do we get you there? Like, what are the steps? Great. And let's go do it." So for me, the reason I do this personal brand is because everybody wants to achieve something. And that's been my vision, to help people get there and give them the belief. We just need belief. And I like it because for me, the magic for me is when you tell someone to do something and they get this success and you see it in their eyes, like that's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand you. I totally understand you. Okay, it's been such a pleasure to talk to you. Just give me where could people find you? What is the best platform to connect with you
Yeah.
before?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if you're listening right now and you're like, you know what, I like this guy, what he has to say, and maybe he could help me get more known, right? Get deals in quicker, raise money faster. Maybe people can pay me more money. All of these things are possible, Addie, like growing your brand, even if you have a company brand. So we can do that with PR or press or TV, or help you build out your social strategy. So Ace of Spades Agency.com. ACEOF Agency. Ace of Spades, like a card, agency.com.
Wow, sounds good. And you're on Instagram too, you told me, and on LinkedIn. This is where I find you, I think. So thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I really enjoyed it. And I think that I learned some new things. The first thing I'm going to do is to open incognito and go and search myself.
Yeah, go do a little stalk on yourself. Let's find out what young Addie used to do.
Yeah, with things that I don't want to know, and I prefer maybe not to see them, but I would I would go and search for that. So thank you for your time. It's been a pleasure, JJ.
Thank you for having me.
And to all of you change makers out there, thank you for joining us. If you want to learn more, go to invincibleinnovation.com, and I'll see you next week with another innovative, insightful talk. See ya. I'm Mazor Kario, and you've been listening to the Invincible Innovation Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, invincibleinnovation.com, where you can learn more about our programs and my book, Innovating Through Chaos. I'll be waiting for you next week in our next episode. Thank you for listening.